Hello. Good morning, beautiful beings. Good morning,
Good morning.
Angela. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm as well as can be expected.
Well, I
And
guess that's good enough.
we just had our notification just dropped this morning. Well, while everything's catching up and while we're waiting on Diana to come, let's just quickly talk about and acknowledge everybody that's here. Running Away from Home is here. Is that your real name, Running Away from Home, Denise? Is that your name? Because we can call you whichever you prefer. And Miriam is here, Miriam Bratton. I'm here.
Yeah, he is here.
Janet P is here. And that looks like we're caught up. And there is Miss Diana. And so I'd like you to all to welcome my guests, Angela, who is Cartomancy Mesquite, Diana Boles, who is oil painter, and welcome to this month's monthly musings. Ordinarily, these programs are going to be recorded, but today, since I'm hosting, I don't have a way to record all of us at the same time, so we're going live, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah.
So, our monthly musings this month is about how to remain positive, how to swim in positivity in an ocean of negativity. And Diane, I wanted to start off with a little bit of astrology.
Right, because oh boy, are we going into it. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're a little low.
Let me see.
Let me turn you up on my end.
Might help a lot because it happens when we get on StreamYard.
Andrea's here.
Oh, hi, Andrea.
Morning, Andrea. Good morning.
Chloe's here.
Hi, Flowing. Hi, Andrea.
And Diana didn't see, but we also have Running Away from Home. Janet P. and Miriam Bratton are also here. There's Michelle Shining Light.
Awesome. Hello, ladies. Good morning or good afternoon.
Good morning, everyone.
Back at the time. Pictures hay already. So excuse me. Good thing you can't smell. So one of the things that I want to talk about right off of the shoot here, going into September, we have the finger of God coming up right away. It's a yod. Some people call it a yod, but it is the finger of God. And Venus is the release point. It's the apex. And she is in Leo right around 24 to 26 degrees. This is where it's going to happen the strongest. And then on one leg at the end of this is a yacht is created by two twin functions, right? Coming together. So we have the Venus here, we have Pluto down here in Capwell, and then we have Neptune in Pisces. So this is going to add to this crescendo feeling that we are having right now, where the waves just keep rolling. They're not as violent as they once were, but it could certainly turn out that way because we have Venus in Leo, Venus of love, Leo of the heart, but Leo who's the actor,
Right.
Who really wants to even get this going and well, and they're casting an angle down to Pluto. And we know what Pluto has been doing. In fact, I have to say, it's already lighting up my yard, and my Venus is in Cancer, and my Pluto is in Leo. So they were going crazy yesterday. I found myself in a moment where I went, "Oh, where did that 4-year-old come from? I haven't behaved like that since I was 4 or 5 years old." So you have to watch for that kind of energy to just be the kind of energy that's going to take over rather than to motivate you. Kind of,
Right.
I want it done yesterday. And sometimes it's about taking charge and doing it yourself. And that Neptune symbol gives us the ability, continued ability to create, right? So it's you can visualize it because of the Neptune energy. You can activate it because of the Pluto energy, and you are already in a state of love because of the Venus energy. But twin punctures can be very uncomfortable. They're motivators, they're changers, they're get the job done. How do I communicate? And what's the one thing that's kind of left out of this is the communication,
Right.
unless it happens to light up your third house in your own chart or something of that nature. So that's just starting this off right off the bat. And like I said last month and this month and next month, we have a lot of retrograde. We have Mercury going retrograde on, I wrote it down. Mercury goes retrograde on September 9th. So, and he's going to be retrograde for 6 weeks, and he's going to be Jupiter. Jupiter in Aries, retrograde. Mercury in Libra, retrograde. And this is already beginning to feel because Mercury is in and passed through that shadow phase. Now he's going to go all over it again. So we're going to have this constant movement that can feel like a tornado coming through because communication might be difficult. So doing your Saturn and letting Jupiter be the father, letting Mercury do the father's bidding, deliver the father's message, because Jupiter is the higher brain and Mercury is the lower brain. And that is Gemini and Virgo. So whatever is lit up even more by Jupiter. And so there's going to be a lot of heightened spin we've been seeing in certain arenas. It can happen certainly in life as well. Make sure you're not spinning it in your own head with that Neptune in Pisces and then Jupiter in Aries across from that Mercury himself. I mean, you can create your own storm in a teacup, if you will, as some people like to say. So remember to think twice, act once, think twice, speak once. Try to choose your words, because not only is it hard for you to enunciate, but it's also hard for people to hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Misinterpretations with that dissolution or the illusion of Pisces. This is what I heard you say. This is one of those good times to say, this is what I think you said. Is this what you were trying to say? And just like the retrograde, to definitely go back and forth.
So we need to make sure that what we mean is being heard, but we also need to make sure that what we're hearing is what the other means.
Right. So for all of us, right? I
Yeah.
might misinterpret something you say because you're trying to be funny, and at the moment I'm extremely serious, and so that's why it's a lot about two times. By the end of September, beginning of October, we're going to have 14 plus planets. That includes dwarf planets and asteroids and the big guys and Mercury and Mars. And Mercury is going to be across from Jupiter within the 2-3 orb or so till October 1st. But Mars is going to be in Gemini, the sign of communication, 6 months. which is almost unheard of.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. And Mercury is the planet of communication and swift thinking, and Mars is the planet of activation. But all of those other aspects, which is going to include another one of those Saturn Uranus square moments, and all that other stuff that we've already been through, it's going to happen again. Some of those points may not be exact, but this is like, I don't know, rose of summer for us up here in the northern hemisphere, right? So it's
Is that going to extend to what we hear on the news? So is misinformation that we're being given in an official capacity is going to be increased because of this energy?
well put, my friend. Very well put. Yes, exactly. So Mars in Gemini is going to be very sharp, and he's going to be very interesting. So you can see those pop-up storms, ocean moments. The Leviathan whale jumps out of the water and slaps his tail on there, and you're in a rowboat, right under his tail.
Right.
Where do you want to be? So it's about checks and balances, and because of all of the other rhetoric that's out there, this is a good time not to isolate, but to check where you're going. If the parking lot is really full, maybe you don't want to go there right now.
Mm-hmm.
You go
Follow the energy.
errand first, and then go.
Follow the energy.
So like what's one of the first things that you in defense? Always have your keys in your hand for a quick getaway, because it can be a weapon as well.
Yes.
So it's always being prepared, watching your surroundings, and making sure that things like excellent.
Makes sense.
Right.
So
all of those things are really going on, and then we also have all that other stuff. We have the Saturn is conjunct Vesta. Vesta is about the harsh fighters, and she, the retrograde, is retrograde. So that's about staying home. Don't go on big adventures unless you absolutely have to, of course. But then again, check your inside. Check the inside of you and live from inside out, rather than taking all that outside and it back into yourself, because that's too much. But if you take the energy of you and project it out to others, they'll pick up on that. Some of them, most of the people I contact are coming from like that.
It's really interesting that all this energy is surrounding what we're going through in the world, with new information coming to light about old crimes, and then the midterms coming up, and all of that is under the influence of this energy.
Right. And one of my and ask Andrea, one of my favorite things to say is, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
What have you already learned? What do you know you're going to need to go forward? And what do you know you can let go of? And even that dirty bathwater, well, take the baby out first.
Yes.
Put them off, and use both of those buckets of water to put into the ground, to put on the plants. The plants love dirt, the plants love water. It's their environment. So everything has I can't even say the word today. Utilitarian aspect to it. Mm-hmm. When you look at it and see where you're recycling. Right. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Right. So all of that is going on, and that is the ocean of negativity that surrounds us, that brings us right into. So how do you stay in something like that, right?
Right.
What's the first thing they teach you when you go to life saving? They make you jump in the water with all your clothes on, and what do you have to do? Dump your own baggage first.
Right.
You can't save yourself, and you can't save anybody else. So if everybody else is making it harder for you to swim, and you're weighing yourself down with trousers and shoes and jackets, start stripping, take that stuff off. Even if you don't plan on getting rid of it, put it someplace where you can go back to and sort it properly. But get rid of it now, because it's not going to serve your purpose of remaining in that higher self, that inside out rather than outside in. Which brings me to the morning I had the song in my head. Remember the La Loca, right? And so there's that, and it's inside out, not outside in.
Right.
Then the other one that I woke up singing one morning was, "Here we go again, just when I'm about to get myself together." Well, that's Mercury retrograde. Or it could be, "Oops, I did it again." With Brittany, that's that Mercury retrograde. So, it's still all about those think twice, act once, right? What are the things that you ladies do to keep you positive and things like that?
Well, that's one thing that we were discussing backstage is singing. So waking up with a song in your head will help you raise your vibrations. Yes, it means something. But if you sing it out loud, it will help you raise your vibrations and keep yourself more positive. Um,
And don't you find it's kind of the theme of the day?
yes.
Today I woke up with the Ricky Martin song, "I Have Found It." Well, that was, and there was something like this in the dream, and that was the day that the Yad.
Was it La Vida
So-
Loca? Was it La
Yeah.
Vida Loca?
Oh my God. Everything's a tongue twister for me today. So that song, but then Dolly Parton, that was when I was getting all the information about the Mercury retrograde.
Right.
And I swear it never fails, because Angela has a song thing going too. So, and I'm sure you do too, Deb.
I do. My guides have a sense of humor, so they will sometimes send me a song, and I'll be hearing that in my head, and then they'll rickroll me. So, so they have a sense of humor, and I wake up sometimes with a song in my head, and that does tend to be what the day is about, some theme for the day, or my background music for the day.
Well, I had La Vida Loca in my brain this morning when I woke up, and I don't remember singing it in my dreams. So. It must be a theme that's going to last a while.
Running away from home says having compassion and empathy for others is so much easier than having it for myself. I'm working on it, and I took about 5 minutes to listen to a song that raises my spirit. And that is an excellent way to pull yourself up. We're always harder on ourselves than we are someone else. And we always will look negative thing about ourselves instead of what other people see. The other people do not see the most negative things about us, usually, unless we're a very not nice person. But they will see something positive about us. And that's what we need to look at. Look at ourselves through someone else's eyes.
Right. Right. So
another thing you can do is, if you don't have a song readily available in your head, just make one up about your circumstances. Yesterday, my dog fell asleep. I went up and got into another room, and then I hear these little paws coming down the hallway, and I said, "I hear the pitty-patty of pitty-patty feet. There's a little puppy with pitty-patty feet." And as soon as she heard it, she knew where I was, so she turned around and went back to sleep.
There you go. Well, and I wrote one yesterday too for the three of us. It goes like this. We three crones of wizardry are unlocking gifts we keep in a jar. Lists and formulas, spoon and cauldron, rolling down starry light. Oh, stars of wonder, stars of light, stars with bright bundles light. Messages coming, spells on dawning. Yahweh is on our signal, right?
Yes. Yes. And
I like that.
so you can,
Well, now we have a recording of it, I hope.
yes, we do. If we will, as soon as this finishes playing, it'll be recorded.
I think y'all know about
So you can always raise your vibrations by singing. Make one up if you don't have one doesn't come to you. Pick a tune, and if you can't make your own tune, pick a tune and put words on it.
Mhm.
They don't have to rhyme. They don't have to be anything, but just to make you personally happy and raise your personal vibrations.
Right.
When you make yourself in a lighter mood, then everyone around you will reflect that, and it will raise their mood and their vibrations too.
Well, you know, living or swimming in the negativity, trying to stay in the positivity when everything's negative around us, it's living with the unknown, because
Yes.
it throws us into that fight or flight situation.
Yeah.
Right? So it makes me feel fallen, right? Like I felt, I've fallen and I couldn't get up. So it's the energy of those unexpected events that make it happen, like something happened, or our own energy level, or our finances. Like, oh my gosh, I double paid a doctor bill, and the bank paid the doctor regardless of the fact that they don't deposit it unless they have a paper check in there. Well, I want my $100 back. Maybe I'll get it 2 years from now. Then
Maybe.
gone. Are you kidding? So that's a case in point. The check is, don't let the bank do everything for you, because that's crazy. I should have sent a local doctor a paper check. Keep the post office in business. So how do you stay positive? How do you live with that fallen energy?
What I do is I consider everything an adventure. I mean, that's been my entire life. That's what I do. It's an adventure, and I just think about, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but that's okay, because whatever it is, I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to take it and use it for my benefit. I'm not going to let it dictate how I'm going to react. I'm in control of how I react.
Creativity, manifestation. Yeah. Tree falls down. What do you do with it? I trimmed a bunch of limbs. I'm building a trellis arbor out of all the limbs that fell down for my slowly developing permaculture yard.
It's going to be beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi, Valerie. Let's just quickly catch up. Joan B. has come in. She's been lurking. Wendy is here. Valerie B. is here. Hi, Valerie. And I think, let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. I think that's everyone that I can see. I think, and Angela, what do you do? I know part of what you do is that you're prepared.
Yeah, I'm prepared for pretty much anything all of the time. I've always got a supply of water, a supply of food, I'm not one of those people that does 25 years worth of food. No, I got food for a month. I'm good. I've always got food for a month. I've always got water. I've always got wood for the fire. Things like that. But I have my little tricks too. One is when everything's going kind of funky and the energy's bad. When people walk up to me or I encounter people that are, kind of in a negative mood, I'll pick out something about them that I like, something genuine, and say, like, I love that blouse you're wearing. That color is your color. You own that. Boy, you're rocking it today. And that just lifts them up immediately. Even if they're mad at you, they can't help it. It still brings them back up. I've seen it work time and time again. But
Right.
It's silly little things like that actually pick it up.
Absolutely.
Yes. And you never know what you're going to say or do that will lift someone's spirits or that they will take away and think is something important when you just maybe you just made an offhand remark or you held the door open for someone. I know when my son was small, I would be struggling with him before I got a wheelchair, but then when he was 3, he had a wheelchair. So I would be struggling with him trying to get in the door of a store or something. It was invariably mothers with children would hold the door. Men would step on me and walk right past.
Right.
Just and so it's generally the people who have been through some stuff or understand what you're experiencing, at least to some extent, that will step up and do a small act of kindness, and that can make your whole day. So we never know who we're going to touch.
Right.
Or someone who witnessed that may get a boost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important for us to practice mindfulness all the time.
All the time. If falling is the rock bottom of the moment. And they can come 1 minute at a time. It doesn't have to be something that is, a long, drawn out thing to get to that point. So that minute of falling is an initiation for the creative process. Because anything you do to get out of that is a creative process. That is an initiation in itself. Saying, okay. So that being it, what do you do in that initiation state? So think back to church days and baptism. It's watering. It is nurturing that little spark of an idea in your head. Putting water on it, feeding it, nurturing it, and it's kind of like watering the dead. Because it has to activate in order to grow and become. So feeding it, right? And that gives us the rise of the phoenix out of the ashes. Because in the ashes, I put ashes in my garden. I put ashes in my compost pile because it's all nutrition in the end.
It is. Running away from home has said our actions are ripples in a still pond and reach far beyond what we can see.
Yeah, absolutely. That was very nicely said. Sure.
My finger stuttered.
I didn't know it to do that.
There you go. So then you get your root going, because before the seed pops up, that taproot's got to go down and get some little fingers of its own.
Yes, yes. I think that's another way that I stay positive is meditation, and what you said reminded me of that, because when I meditate, first thing I do is ground, and I visualize putting down roots into Mother Earth. So running away from home has given us permission to call her Denise.
Okay.
So I just wanted to wanted to mark that. And so that's meditation can help you lift your vibrations, lift your spirits, because you're concentrating on something that's for your benefit. And anything that's for our benefit can help us raise our vibrations and stay positive.
You know,
And meditation doesn't have to take a long time.
Mhm.
I do a 30-second meditation when things are really driving me nuts. I'll just close my eyes, take in a deep breath, and drop my hands and feel all the negativity fall into the earth. I feel it wash off of me.
So
And that's all you gotta do.
I just saw an orb float past you, Angela.
I did too.
It's not unusual here.
Okay, good. It wasn't just me, see?
I saw it too. So, and you're absolutely right. It doesn't have to take a long time. It can, and each of us is different. So whatever works for one of us may not work for someone else. And that's why we're having this discussion, because we have 3 different approaches to ways to stay positive here. And everyone in the chat also has their own way. So there is no wrong way. I want to say that first. There's no wrong way to do anything. There's no wrong way to meditate. There's no wrong way to do readings. There is no wrong way to raise your vibrations, as long as you're keeping exactly your intention and making sure your intention is in the right place. If your intention is in the right place, anything you do for the betterment of that is going to help keep you positive.
And tree roots, the secret life of trees, they're all connected.
Yes.
Even mushrooms, you pull a mushroom in Michigan and someplace in China, a mushroom knew it. They're all connected. The fungi are all connected. And the same thing with the trees. They are all connected. You go under the ground, you can't tell where the tree is coming from. I pulled it, it went that way, but that doesn't mean it was that tree. It was the one behind me. Because once I got out of that entangled spot, you're going backwards and find another. So everything's connected, and then the world is here. This is all of those listing things. And I was shuffling cards, and details jumped out of the deck. We're all connected. The roots are connected. The mushrooms are connected. We people are connected. I had a thought, Angela gets it. I was designing a deck of cards, trying to make it bigger than it should be. But Nancy Jean came up with the right solution to get it with crystal. And she and I were having those things downloads just realms.
So they're saying they're having trouble hearing you,
Me?
Diana. Are you? Is there anything? You're having a lot of white noise come through.
That's me.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear that, but let me try it. I don't have.
I know you don't have a way to change it. I know.
Sometimes if you lean in a little closer, your computer will pick you up better.
Is this better?
Yeah,
Yes.
actually it is.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, Valerie.
My best side.
I wanted to say hi to Medium Betsy Palmer. It's nice to have you with us, Betsy.
For sure. So, I think we should pull some cards. You got some cards handy, ladies?
Always.
Always. What's a good question to start with? I mean, these energies are going to be with us for quite some time. Into January. So it's not something that's going to go away quickly.
No.
How about if we ask about the path to renewal?
Say that again.
The path to renewal.
The path to renewal. Let me just quickly grab one more deck. See, I wasn't prepared.
It's okay. I'm never really prepared. I just take it usually.
And
I
so,
didn't know you live without a deck in your hands.
Like,
since I
like
wasn't
Kathy J
prepared,
singing
if
a
someone
song.
else is ready, then please go ahead.
Add moonlight, the sunlight, the love, and brighten it all up.
Awesome. There you go. Stand in your light.
Yeah.
Joan B asked if it's possible if the microphone is covered up somehow.
I don't have an extra microphone. This is I'm looking.
No, I mean the one in your. Are you using your iPad or your phone?
Yeah.
Is there where you have it propped up? Do you know if the microphone could be kind of covered up a little bit?
No, it shouldn't be. It's just I think the microphone's on that side and the camera's on that side.
It's just being stubborn.
Yeah, it's the way the iPad is set up because this is a pretty new one.
Right. Are you ready? Did you have a card?
I do. I'm ready. So here we go. We have One Ring Circus. So by remembering where we are, remember there was that one bit of advice that said stay close to home. And this is the hidden path. Not only the path less traveled, but the path where you can get away from the mainstream of it all. So back to that One Ring Circus and stick with your trusted friends that you know will be able to help you out of and listen to you. Speak, think twice, speak once, think twice, act once, and keep yourself only with your close friends and the smaller community rather than to be outside your group.
Right. So for the path to renewal, what I got was first, with the traveler, move in a new direction.
Oh, good. Nice. I love
Then
that.
the wise one, grow within your current situation. So we're looking for a new direction within what we're already working with. And then finally, to follow the voice of your soul, the star ancestor.
Awesome.
So I think this message is that wherever we are, whatever we're doing, look at it with a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Hang upside down from a tree and see it in a different way. And then use that information to grow within what's already happening and follow your soul path.
How about in the chat? Is there anybody in the chat who has a question or would like a question answered?
So while we're waiting for that, let me ask.
Oh, good.
What should we be looking for to avoid so that we know that it's coming so that we can,
Hi, Juno.
I do know. Hi,
Oh.
Gerald.
Just what obstacle might be thrown in our path, so we can be aware of it? And
I got change coming in the fall. And watch out for those drinks when you're partying or when you're celebrating during the holidays. Those are going to be some
Yeah, they're
obstacles.
coming. Oh, so I have watch out for the other person's argument. Someone else. When that argument comes up, take a breath. Sit back and contemplate and find a way to offer encouragement to them.
so I got that there's some things are going to come out very quickly. Some information's coming fast, and we may have a struggle to get the upper hand, but justice will prevail because the sun is coming out and we will know. So whatever's coming up, just know that it will pass and that justice will prevail.
What is that tarot deck?
That is the Robin Wood Tarot, and I was recently gifted it by someone, and I haven't cleared it with that person to see if I could say who it is. But I am enjoying it very much. The imagery on this deck is excellent.
Stunning. And I was putting things away carefully and put yourself in restriction. But it is up to you to do it, and you can leave that restriction when your energy feels better. Like
Right.
all she has to do is loosen those loose bounds. Fine.
And get out of our own way.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect way.
It looks like we don't have any questions, so I'm wondering if there's anything else that you would like to address about staying positive
Staying positive.
while everything around us has gone to hell in a handbasket.
That was my husband's favorite saying. And guess who said it the most to?
I can't say my ex-husband's favorite saying because it's not polite to say in mixed company. And also my current man doesn't have any real saying except don't worry about it. That's his. That's
well, remember not to be too judgy, right?
right.
Even if you have no plan on ever being like that other person, try to understand what motivates that other person. What is it that you don't know?
Absolutely.
That happens to them in their childhood, that is still a wound they're carrying with, right? So, and then try to avoid the label.
Yes.
Whether you call yourself shaman or solitary Rick or whatever, and whatever you don't want to label, even when it's one of those lovely things. So you can't label other people and expect that same kind of respect.
That's an excellent point because I am a lot of things, but I don't necessarily want to be called by any of those things because I'm a unique person. So when we start to think of someone else in a box, then that's really unfair
Yeah.
because they are so much more than whatever we just labeled them.
Mm-hmm. Right? So here we are, keeping certain friends close to us, keeping ourselves on our own restrictions. Who are you letting in? Remember when you were a little kid? No, that kid can't go in your bedroom. Get out of your bedroom. Keep that door open. Right? And then the point is nurture yourself, but don't forget to nurture others as well. And there is work to be done in order to make it happen. And
Right.
that's what this time is about. We can all go play, take a break, go play, but don't forget, all of it is work. You got to put your toys away. You can't leave them in the stand. The cat's going to come by and get them.
Exactly.
And you might want to check that sandbox before you go and play.
Right.
And
Especially if you have cats.
What bird just flew over the swing seat?
What bird or cats? Andrea has given us an interesting suggestion about brainstorming one thing in each category: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, to raise vibration in a pinch. So we're out someplace. This is something I do that I learned from someone who does Reiki, that, and you can do this in all of those situations. Something that I've learned is that you can brush them off. They don't have to know what you just did.
Right.
So, whatever it is, if someone or a situation or something is coming in at me, then what I do is I brush them off. And that breaks up the energy.
Right.
Just the act of doing it breaks up the
That
energy.
takes up three things right off the bat, and then puts you in a better spiritual place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jin Shin Jitsu of the fingers. I'm
Yeah.
so mad. No, calm down. Grab the finger that, whether it's the strength or whatever you need. But when I'm angry, and especially if it's from the nose, and I just want to act like one right back, and it's such a word, I try to grab that finger and just go, no, slow down.
Okay. Wendy has said that I missed Betsy's question. Betsy. Oh, there it is. I found it. How can spirit help guide us through the end of 2022? She finished that later because of the caps. How can spirit help guide us through the end of 2022? Do you want to throw a card on that?
Yeah. That would be a good one for all of us collectively. I love it when there's synchronicity with cards.
Say that again.
I love it when there's synchronicity with the cards from
I love
one
that
reader
too.
to the next.
I love that too. That makes me very happy when that happens. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us.
Shall I go?
Go ahead.
I'm ready.
If you're ready, go ahead.
So we have the Six of Swords, which is moving away from the situation, moving into calmer waters, finding more peaceful places to be. So Spirit is going to take us to calmer waters by connecting with them and finding a peak of joy deep within. Think of something that makes you very happy, and then that will carry you into the change that you need to have in order to experience the calmer water that Spirit is trying to take.
Are you ready, Angela?
Yeah, I can go. You can feel for spirit around you. Look for spirit around you, and spirit will bring you back to balance.
Yes.
So when you're feeling a little off your pins, look and feel for spirit. They're always there.
And both of what you said goes along with what I got. I got the stag, trust and thrive. So trust spirit knows where we need to go. You are the Shaolin master. Be graceful in movement and action because you have the knowledge within you.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I got direction guardian to choose your path. And to clarify, I pulled one more card, the seer.
I love that card.
So see beyond the current situation. So if we look up and we see, if I go this way, this is going to happen. If I go this way, this is going to happen. But where I want to go is here. Choose the path, but be able to see where you're going before you choose. Be graceful and trust.
Right.
Excellent question, Betsy. Excellent question.
Yeah. Yeah. And Stag is, well, I think one of my favorite goddesses in One of the Gods, who is the antlered goddess, and she creates the path. I mean, deer tracks have been going for centuries. The same deer track takes them to the water, and we're the ones getting in the way of their path. They were here first.
Exactly.
I remember the first time I saw her in the woods was quite a long time ago. I was a Girl Scout, so that was 50 years. 50 years. 50 years. So
we won't tell anyone.
No. Right? But the first camp trip, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this my imagination? Is my mom going to tell me I'm making this up? You know? But there she was, and she is pure, she was within me.
Thank you for the question, Betsy, because she said, lovely. Sounds like we can remind ourselves of what we want to bring to the world. It's very good advice to recenter, redirect thought. And I think that is, we have to trust spirit and ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we can see where we need to go. And we can see when something is starting to interfere with us spiritually, with us physically, with us emotionally. Sometimes we can't hide it. I've been experiencing that I can't hide it very well. And
hide things when you have psychic friends.
That's the thing, yes. When your friends are psychics, you can't hide things.
Well, and saying the whole thing is sometimes a whole lot, right?
Yes.
People didn't read way back in the day.
No, they didn't.
People used symbols and signals. And if you knew that, you could spell. And so if you spell, because you just made a symbol. Okay?
Yes.
Oh, I can't do it with my hands, but if you think about the symbols for the signs of the zodiac or the planets of the zodiac, each one has a significance. The circle is the sphere of protection. You put the seed in it, or it's also completion. When the seed, the dot in the middle, that's the sun. This is receptor reflector. That's the moon. So you can create your own signal by grounding. This is, I'm sorry, this is the material world. This is as above, so below. So all of those skills, you can create your own that encompasses your whole place by knowing what this stanza is and what that stanza is, and put that symbol someplace to remind you or to draw it in. You can't burn a candle. Like the
Right.
sign of Mercury, that is so powerful. It's the receptor on top of the sphere of completion and the radiator from above to below, the message about what you should do in the material world. So that was a lot of words for that one symbol. And there's more, of course, that you can apply to that same one symbol. So create your own and leave it on your desk for that annoying phone call or, all of that other stuff.
Yes. So what we learned today is that we can be mindful, we can sing, we can look around us and be aware of our surroundings. And anything else you ladies would like to add about staying positive when everything around us it seems negative?
Be prepared.
Yes. Know that there's going to be negativity out there and have your arsenal of singing and compliments and holding doors. All these little things make it better.
Yes, they do. That's an excellent point, Juno. When Mary Burmeister, founder of Jinshin Jutsu, did I say that right? Was confronted in Times Square by a man with a gun attempting to rob her. She pointed at him and laughed. He dropped the gun and ran away. So sometimes most times, we can diffuse a situation with laughter, even if it's inappropriate. So
Right. Because the situation is
laugh,
inappropriate.
laugh. It's always good to laugh. Laugh and
smile.
Everything, laugh, smile, and everything's an adventure. So don't necessarily, it may look bad, but it probably really isn't as bad as we feel like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, beautiful beings, keep your vibrations up, smile, laugh when you can, and until next time.
Blessings.